cutting off the ring, utilizing the body as an undulating chasm, as my coach Josh Waitskin would talk about it. So to get to that point, we talked about several ideas that we're integrating into this. And I'm going to put this down here so you can potentially still hear us and all the sirens in Los Angeles. And the urine that the dog just put there. I probably should not put the phone on the urine. All right, here we go. This seems like it'll work. Okay, great. All right, so we did a few different concepts here. So one concept, balance frame. I could balance the frame a little bit more, filmmaker. Oh, no, it's okay. Look at that. Look at that. There we go. All right. So the first thing we were working on, just to review what we did today, we were doing the 2 push, 2 roll back push hands, right? So we're doing this, and we talked about one move in particular, that this moment right here, where you do this qigong exercise, giant ape pushes it away, which we did, which creates this praying mantis style position where you have a point of contact and a counterpoint creating leverage. So inserting this at this moment, and I'll grab this so you can actually see. Inserting this in the moment here, you can line up the elbows and push into the partner, stapling the arm to the opponent and see how I'm dragging his elbow across his body to pull his hip. This is an important idea in push hands. And if you do it a little bit earlier, dropping down here and coming up, you can create this little triangle position too. And let me get the camera here. This little triangle position. This is a quick review, but this little triangle position, looking for the triangle on the partner so that you can create tension in their body on 2 points, splitting their attention is also very, very important. So that's our review, stage 1, right? And we'll show how that gets to this point. And trust me, each one of the exercises, these concepts that we're doing, is going to build on the next. So creating these little leverage points, it just happened. Boom, boom. Sorry about that. That's okay. Happens again right here as I'm turning, and I'm turning the push. This is deflecting and immediately becomes the push. So that was actually how we started talking about this in the first place. We just changed directions using different arms now, and the same thing here. I deflect it and it becomes the push, the deflection. And for the exercise, you're supposed to be using 2 arms, but I'm taking one away just to show the deflection becomes the push. I've just taken this arm away just to demonstrate this right here. So pushing in. Notice that I'm pushing through my hip, through my shoulder blade, and my back is extending through my body, and I'm relaxing into the opponent. And not so much where I'm overcommitting so that I drop and I just fall. So I have a very particular A-frame, it's called, from the Wu style Tai Chi. This is a Wu style exercise, which really allows you to wash your weight into the opponent incrementally. Very powerful stuff. So we did those exercises to warm up. Then we switched into this 2-person exercise that I've talked about before, but I want to show you in 4 points that's super important. And into this 2-person exercise that I've talked about before, but I want to show you in 4 points that's super important. And cascading forward. The chest is opening up and cascading back. This is important for what we'll do next in the freestyle grappling drill. So here, cascade forward. Next, elbows, the fingers point down, the elbows drop, which gets you to more of a guard position. And they use the arms as a road to push up. So you're setting yourself up for what's called a big push. The big push is when you drop your hips below your opponent's hips and you push the shoulders over their hips, past their hips to flip their weight. Pushing the shoulders past the hips helps to flip someone's weight, to throw them off balance and push them to the ground. So we're also training ourselves to be flexible and open our rib cage. And a lot of American Tai Chi push hands practitioners, in my experience in recent years, have gotten stronger because a lot of folks are combining HIIT training with their Tai Chi, and so they're getting the HIIT training strength, and they're doing their best to soften it with their Tai Chi work. However, the full range of motion exercises they may not necessarily be doing. And this range of motion experience here, opening up the chest and spine, is actually super important for grappling when we go back to talking about moving like an undulating chasm. So what that means is that you're cascading the spine. Dragon style Kung Fu cascades the upper body. Luhabafa or water boxing cascades the lower body. But if you only cascade one or the other, you may be off balance, especially only the lower body. Someone can push your shoulders over your hips, such as that. Thank you, Rich. So what we're training right now, to get to the actual point of the freestyle version of this, is we're training combining footwork with this undulating chasm type of motion, meaning that you're lifting the chest and dragging any part that catches. Like the rib cage, I'm missing a muscle here from birth, so I'm using my rib cage to catch. And if I lift up, I want my ribs to catch his ribs or anything on his body, so I have leverage to drag his body upward, which makes him want to come down. As he wants to come down, I drop my body on him. So if you watch Tuishou Chen, who's like, potentially the greatest Taiji push hands player to live, who's still, I think he's still great guy. But he used to fight a guy named the Yellow Bull. He and the Yellow Bull would have these crazy matches where he would try to push the Yellow Bull out of the ring, and the Yellow Bull would turn it around and push him out of the ring. And they would use, especially the Yellow Bull, would use this cascading, which looks very similar to Mongolian belt wrestling. So you have the Mongolian belt wrestlers lifting each other up. I even saw one American Hungai, if I pronounce it properly, great follow on Instagram, a American Mongolian wrestler, great follow. Showcasing one of his teammates lifting a 250-pound bag just like this. Now, I'm not lifting him up to get that strength to do that belt wrestling. I'm doing it more of a Tai Chi style. I'm cascading the body, dragging my rib cage up, feeling his pectoral muscle here, lifting it up as much as I can, and then dropping my weight intentionally on it. And now I'm going to use my fork to cut past and to cut in and to walk him out of the ring, to essentially control the ring, control the space. So you're constantly lifting up and dropping the weight down and find different parts of your body to catch onto the opponent's body, to cut into them, to compress their spine, or to lift them out of compression when they want to get out. So you time it. You lift them up, they want to sink down, so then you compress them, they want to get out, so you lift them up, and you keep that pattern going. So now we're going to switch to adding footwork, and then we're going to bring these concepts together. So all the drills we've done lead up to this, and we'll do the footwork to this tree. Yeah. So if you think about the camera, which is on a tree right now, there's 4 corners to a ring, to this ring that we're in. We have trees. So what we're going to do, I like to think of the body, or my perspective, as like Pac-Man. You know Pac-Man, the game, but it's like a pie chart, right? And so the mouth is like the Pac-Man part. So you want the feet, I'm just going to take the hands away for a second. You want the feet to cut off the ring, meaning that everything behind you is a no-go zone. You don't want the opponent to step outside. If I use my hands like this, I don't want my opponent to step outside of my hand here or out of my hand here. So I'm stepping and cutting this off. And what we'll do is we're going to use these concepts of caging, which you check my other videos for that, but that thigh slicing moment here, that's a part of caging, which is a leg technique, stepping through your opponent's stance. So if I'm cutting off the ring with my upper body and my lower body, so my upper body's grappling, moving the person, but I don't want them moving past here, I may cage their leg to put pressure on their thigh, their knee, etc., to get them to step the other direction, and then I'll cut that off, and then I'll move them the other way. So I keep on cutting off the ring without, there's not a lot of tension here. It's really more so just like as relaxed as possible and as minimized tension as possible. So I'm doing these big movements, I don't want to be mistaken for a lot of tension. It's really the cascading, and the cascading it can look impractical, but you're really getting not only range of motion, but the ability to lift partner. So what Richie's gonna do now is Richie's gonna move me out, and I'm gonna be the drill partner for him. So as his drill partner, what I'm doing is I'm going to drop weight to compress his spine, and then when he comes up, I'm going to lift up. But that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to try to push him out of the ring. He's got to get me out of the ring, doing the opposite of that. So I'm creating weight. I'm essentially a dummy here. He's going to work on cutting off the ring. Now let's go this direction more, and just let's aim. So if you don't have a ring, you can just use a target. We're going to aim for the tree, which is the camera, and just think of this as a lane. So if I step out of the lane here, which is out of camera frame, or over here, those are no-go zones. So you want to keep me in the lane, going right to camera.
Okay. Do you want to angle or?
Just try to. I'm gonna do my best.
Straight back.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best to step out of it, and then you can bring it back to your.
Okay.
So if you notice too, what he did at the end, how he flipped me over at the end, he created this ward off, which he did before, which is awesome that you brought the exact same thing back. He created a ward off posture, but it's not just any ward off posture. Obviously, if you know ward off in a sophisticated way, we utilize many different ways. So he created, can you just get that posture again? So just to break down something that we were working on earlier that he's brought his own style to, he has this position, the palm is on my back, it's creating pressure. He's got his shoulder, it's creating pressure, lifting me up. So he's doing the cascading, lifting me up. And then he's also, I had my hand here, he was lifting my arm with his tricep. So he's got these 3 points, plus he's got his body mechanic and footwork that's lifting me out of the ring. So he's really, really getting me with structure. And I just can't emphasize that enough. All the things that we're working up to, I'm saying it very quickly, going through it in this video very fast, but all of it is about incrementally expanding your awareness and structure so that you can apply these things at full speed. So, and obviously, like, you get a lot more depth when you do things solid. So that's the whole point of this exercise. And I love you guys. I'll post this on my YouTube. We got Richie here, Richie Stores, wonderful Tai Chi teacher, player, push-ass player, and see you soon. This will be on YouTube. Love you, bye.